Yo, peace, peace. What's going on, y'all? It's Gilead 7 Series Cartoons. You are looking at Untapped Hip Hop TV, and I want to make sure y'all stay locked. Support. Peace.
Something wrong when there's something right. When you draw me a call, you keep me by your side. Are you with something wrong when there's something right?
My name is L7. I am from Koreatown, which is like downtown LA pretty much. Moved to Pomona like, I don't know, 5 years ago. No, 7 years ago at this point. But I've been back and forth between like LA and Pomona, but now like Pomona's home now. It's just tight. I am a rapper, producer, and guest services representative. Started rapping, I want to say, like in 5th grade with a friend of mine, Rain Raps. He was in like one of the previous interviews. So shouts out to, CJ Hughes, he's tight. Like we started rapping, I want to say in middle school. There was a time before that he referenced as well where we were like doing comics and stuff like that. Around that time I was also being like spoon-fed like poetry by my 6th grade teacher, Nia Evans, and we also had an art teacher named Tamashi Jackson who was like pushing like the art side of like art. The visual side of art, not the art side. Yeah, so like we would collaborate, me and CJ, on like putting like little think tanks together. So there was the little Robo Keith comic that he was talking about, but we also started like writing little free writing journals at the beginning of our classes and stuff. So that would kind of curtail us into like, all right, what are we gonna do after school today? All right, we're gonna write some shit. We're gonna draw some shit. With that being said, it was a long journey for the producer side. That shit didn't pop off until I really started studying CJ, because he was a producer as well at a certain point in time. I felt kinda the need to keep up, not necessarily to compete, but like to be able to produce music, not music producer stuff, but just to make the music, not even a rivalry. It was just like, if he's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too, just so that we can maximize the potential, there's shit to be done. Let's do the shit. But eventually, like, I started producing a lot more. We split for college, and at the time I started a group. This is the group that I started, is Ill Folk. Like, I still like represent it. I don't know if everybody else is is so gung-ho about it, but I started it trying to boost my own morale about the music that I was making, because these were all friends of mine who are also making music, and to help them make their own shit. So a lot of the time I was traveling around to different places at this time, from Eastvale, while I was going to Cal Poly Pomona, to Riverside or Inglewood, to pick up people to bring them back to Eastvale, or even as far as what was Lume going at the time, Irvine, a couple times back to Eastvale. Yeah, I was driving at the time too, so it was cool, but it was stressful at the same time, because it was I'm the only one that really sees the vision behind it. There might be a handful of other people. Mind you, CJ is away at college at this. I mean not at college, but at Dartmouth at this point. So he's focusing deeply on his shit, and I applaud him for that, because he went to Dartmouth. Not too many black people go to Dartmouth. But anyways, it got to be everybody that I was putting my all into, they kind of went their own way, and that's what happens in life. I just didn't expect it to happen, as early on. I was really like dreamy about things. So at this point, fast forwarding a bit, the group condenses down to like 4 people, 5, like a 5th person kind of like back and forth. I'm not gonna like put anybody out there like that, but like pretty much with these 4 people, the 3 people that I can't mention were me, Rain Raps, and our friend from my high school named B Safo, or his real name. I'm not even gonna put his real name out there. Just, you know, he's not ready yet for that. But anyways, so like us 3 and like a 4th person, we were brought in by Abstract Rude, a local LA legend, pretty much, underground, like phenomenal bar god. But pretty much we went through like a mentorship with him that kind of didn't pan out too well. I'm not gonna get too much into it. Yeah, like we were expecting certain things weren't met because we weren't exuding certain qualities or whatever, but it was like there was no real communication, so it was like, all right, well, okay, no big deal. If that's the case, we can all do what we intended to do anyway, just separately, no big deal. And I'm not shooting any jabs. Like I fuck with the music, I fuck with him. I just didn't fuck with like the alignment of like where my group stood. But slowly but surely, from that, like life stress and stress from that kind of broke the group apart. So like Rain ended up doing solo work. When he came back from school, he started doing music a lot more, like on the button. And it was like, for me at the time, like I had been doing the music prior to, and I was losing my kick. Like, so,
what was causing that?
the fact that like the bigger group started to disband. So like, the kick forced me into like a writer's block, and like I didn't really know what to talk about because I didn't want to talk about shit. You get me? Like that sent me in like a big ass like whirlwind, and I couldn't really bounce back from it because it was like, fuck, the world's against me type of thing. I had just broken up with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and like yeah, I just started doing dumbass shit, like but I don't know, I believe people will say a higher power. I believe in God. Like he yeah, there were things that I prayed for within like my downtime that I got like within the time frame that I guess it should have come in. So like within a year of the depression or whatever, I went through like a whole bunch of rehabs and shit like that. I went deep. But from that, I was able to get back on my feet. Haven't been back since like, I don't know, it's been years. It's been a long fucking time. But it was in my adult phase, so like it's still pretty fresh, but like in my memory. Anyhow, I bounced back on my feet, and it was around, I want to say 2013, early March. I get a call from this organization called Street Poets in downtown LA. They kind of focus on ushering community healing through poetry, pretty much. And I was introduced to them through my ex-girlfriend. They pretty much brought me in as an intern to like kind of bring me back or put me back on my feet. So through them, I was able to like kind of get my life back together.
Trying to heal yourself.
Yeah, and then the following year, around my birthday again, I prayed for. I mean, prior to, I prayed for like a new place, because around the time I was living with my mom and she was tripping about like, you're not working enough, blah blah blah. So I started getting like other jobs and stuff, like unbeknownst. And then like all along the way I'm praying like, yo, I need a new space. I'm gonna be moving into a new space by my birthday. Like, so like the next year around April 12th, my birthday is April 30th, I call Tyrone Stokes, aka Lyrically Twisted, who's like the facilitator of the dope spot, like, can I like live here? He's like, yeah, dude, we have spaces available. Let's like come check out the rooms. So yeah, I did that. Like, hopped on that like fast as hell. By the time I got here, like my morale starting to, you know, get back up and shit. Like, I'm starting to like make more music. I'm inspired by early, like, I was initially inspired by like early hip hop sounds, so like your typical Diggable Planets, A Tribe Called Quest, Jay Dilla, Typecast, I guess you could say. But I also liked, there was download.com. I don't know if you guys ever used download.com back in the day, but they had like a music portion where like you could download like straight up like singles and shit. So like when I searched for like certain people that I was interested in at the time, like Mos Def or MF Doom, it came up with like a totally different catalog. So like at the time, my first hip hop album that I purchased myself from a Barnes and Noble was the Danger Doom collaboration. So I was searching like MF Doom at the time, Mos Def because of like his shit that he did with the song that he did, Don't Push Me, or Close Edge, off of the Dave Chappelle shit. So like I was searching those artists, and I ended up coming across like other artists like MF Doom and MF Grimm, or like the fucking what's that shit? The Mad Villain collab, and what else is that? I also came across Mos Def's like early shit, like you guys wouldn't even fucking know. Like, it's called Urban Thermodynamics, UTD. Like, bro, like they're fucking fire. Like, I need you guys to check this shit out, please. Like, do your research. But yeah, those were my influences as far as like producers, rappers are concerned. Like, so like Madlib is my main influence, I guess you can say. The sound that I'm trying to make, like, I'm trying to rival the current sound, I guess you can say, but like I'm putting my own spin on it, and I'm not giving a shit about it. Like like, so like I'm at this point gaining small notoriety that's been building up from the years of like showing up to shit, or like even like the events that like I have been seen at, type of thing. Like, oh, he's back, I guess, you know, this is the I guess part that I'm trying to hop over. We're gonna like focus on what's right here. No more like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because like 5 years, 10 years ago, I didn't see myself working as a fucking GSR for arenas. Like, that's whack. Like, I'm out here trying to rap my ass off, and I'm smiling to people that I don't care about, like, whether it's a stranger or not. Like, I'm being fake, and I don't want to be fake. Like, I hate it. But like, at the same time, like, I appreciate the people who appreciate where I am, you know, and who show it, you know, because like there's not too many people who are showing up to my shit, but there are people that are consistently showing up, you get me? Like, so shouts out to Jose, Cedric, Vice, Johnny Bars, Kieran, that's cool, JM Cam. Shouts out to everybody that, you know, fucks with me. You know, like, because I feel like through my lens, it's a very small pool, and it could be a lot more people than what I've mentioned, and that like may even feel what I'm saying. You get me? But like, I want them to know as well that thank you. You know, like I wouldn't be here because of it. I mean, like here today. You know, like as a I'm not suicidal or anything, but I'm saying like here talking about this. Like, I feel like things are like kind of coming full circle, but like I still know that there's work to be done. Like, so with that being said, bring it. You can find me at how do we do it? That's an at sign at L7 ELS3VN. You can even Google L7 at this point. I Googled myself this morning, actually. Made a fucking Instagram post about it. Like, yo, it's official. But not like, not a wiki page. Not just yet. I'm not that official. So if anybody's, you know, that dedicated, Rain Raps, to write in the history about L7. That would be tight.
Keep it open so people can edit it.
Exactly, because there's a lot of people that could edit it, I'm assuming. Yeah, you guys are tight. You guys are all tight. But yeah, shouts out to David for having me here today. Man. Untapped Hip Hop all the way, bro. It's been a long time coming, you guys too. This is like some fucking B-roll blooper shit at this point, but like years, man. But I'm glad we're here. But yeah, I'm L7, iRkdm as the producer. That's pretty much it right now. I don't really DJ as much anymore. But when the opportunity comes, DJ Spicy Brown. Right now, at L7 only. Niggas think they know who I am. They should be concerned with what I can be. I got legacies to establish, grabbing the cabbage to put on for family like my mama, my daddy, my uncles, my aunties, and Grammy and Pappy. They all represented. Let's get us a Grammy to show them the business. We all finna get it. Lord is my witness. I'm going in like I know no break, shouting out, get out the way. Promise I'm jaded to all of the fake in the shade. Get that shit out of my face. Looking at last year, after the taxes, I double whatever I made. So it's no wonder that I become valuable prey to niggas who don't have the faith. Whoa, I keep the squad on my back 24 hours a day. Yeah, big kept at level 100. Now niggas running the game. What can I say? I'll pull a shift with no breaks. I'ma need double my pay. Rising in class. Let's take it straight to the bank and I'm keeping the change. Petty. Alright, cool.